Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Verda. I am Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma and this lecture is for the subject Business Economics for BCom first semester English medium. So, in today's lecture, we are going to deal with the second topic under our fourth unit, that is law of supply. So as in last lecture we have tried to understand the concept of supply, then we have seen the difference between the stock and supply, and then we have dealt with the various factors or the determinants of supply. In our today's lecture we are going to see the law of supply. So whenever we are talking about any law, so it is having four essential elements or the parts, that is statement of law, assumption of law, and the schedule and the curve to understand that particular law, and then the exceptions to that particular law. So now we will begin with the statement of law of supply. So what's the statement saying about the law of supply? See, other things remaining constant, the quantity of a good produced and offered for sale will increase as the price of the good rises and decrease as the price of good fall. Means what's being said there, other things remaining constant, which means all the factors that determines the supply in the market, like price of related goods, then the future expectation regarding goods, government policy, size of industry, all these factors would remain constant, and the quantity of good produced and offered for sale will increase as the price of good rises and decrease as the price of good falls. So what is basically the statement of supply saying? It's establishing a relationship between the price and supply by assuming that other factors which influences supply will remain constant in the market for the particular time being. And then there is going to be, and when the other factors will remain constant, so due to increase in price, supply will increase, and due to decrease in price, supply will decrease. So the law of supply is establishing a positive relationship between the price and supply. A positive relationship means when one factor will increase, so another factor will also increase, and when one variable will decrease, so another variable will also decrease. In the statement we can see that other things remaining constant, which means ceteris paribus means all other factors which influences supply will remain constant, and the relationship would be established between two variables, price and supply. And what kind of relationship is going to be there? It's going to be the direct relationship. When the price will increase, supply will also increase, and when the price will decline, supply will also decline. So this was the statement. Now we will see the assumptions. Assumptions to the law of supply. So what are the basic assumptions? First one over here is no change in price of related goods. See, in the law of supply, we assume that for the particular period of time, there is going to be no change in the price of related goods. Because if the price of related goods will change, so even at the constant price, even when the price will not change, the supply will change and the law of supply will not operate. Law of supply will not be able to operate. Therefore, in law of supply, there is no change in the price of related goods is assumed. The second assumption that we consider in the law of supply is no change in price of factors of production. Now, factor of production refers here raw material, labor, machineries, etc. So, it is assumed that under law, there is going to be no change in the prices of factors of production. Because if the prices of factors of production will change, so the supply will also change even though the price will not change due to even though the price will not change. Okay, like take an example. If the prices of raw material will increase, so what will happen? The cost of production of supplier will increase. Okay, and when the cost of production of supplier will increase, so his profit will minimize. So at minimum profit he is not going to supply more of commodity in the market. He will not be willing to sell more and more units of commodity in the market when the profit is low. Therefore, in the law of supply, it is assumed that during a given period of time, there is going to be no change in the prices of the factors of production. The next one is no change in the state of technology. Here it is assumed that there is going to be no change in the state of technology, because when the state of technology gets changed, when the new and the advanced technology is introduced in the market, so basically what happens, due to the invention and the innovation in the technology, the new products get introduced in the market with more efficiency, with more advantages, and due to which the demand for the old product declines in the market, and it impacts their supply as well. So when the demand is not there, so supply of course declines in the market. So even though the price remains constant, so the law will not operate in such condition, and therefore in the law of supply it is assumed that there should be no change in the state of technology. The another assumption which is taken under the law is no change in government policy. Now government policy is associated with two things, as we have discussed in last lecture, that is taxes and subsidies. Okay, so if the taxes is being imposed on the particular commodity, so the price of that commodity rises, because of which the demand of that commodity falls, and if the demand of that commodity falls, so there is no use to increase or the maximize its supply in the market, because it's not being demanded. Or if the subsidy is given on production of certain products, so what happens, the cost of production of the supplier reduces, because of which he can also he can reduce the price, okay. So this way the government policies also impact the supply of a commodity in the market, okay. So therefore it is assumed that the government policy will not change during a given period of time. The next one is size of industry. See, if the size of industry increases, means if the new firms enters into the market, so what will happen? The supply of the goods and services which are being produced by those firms will increase in the industry. Even when the prices are constant, price is not changed. So here the law of supply will not operate, and therefore it is assumed that there is no change in the size of industry. The next one is the no change in the goals and objectives of the firm. What happens if the goals and the objective of firm changes? If instead of earning more and more profit, instead of making more and more profit, firm wants to share more and more, firm wants to grab more and more market share, so what will happen? It will supply more quantity of commodity even at low prices, in order to penetrate in the market, in order to grab more and more market share, and the law of supply will fail, because what law of supply says? The when the price will increase, supply will be more, and when the price will decline, supply will also decline. But in order to penetrate the market, the firms are going to supply more and more quantity of commodity, even at the constant prices, even at the low prices, and the law of supply will fail over here. That is why it's assumed that there's not going to be any change in the goals and the objectives of the firm. So these are the basic assumptions which are assumed under the law of supply. Now we will try to understand the law of supply with the help of schedule and the curve. See, so what is basically the supply schedule? What is basically the supply schedule? When you are going to present the law of supply in the form of tabular data, so it is known as supply schedule. Here you can see that price is given, which is in rupees for per kg, and here the quantity supplied is given, which is in kgs, okay. So here you can see that when the price of commodity is 1 rupee, so supply is 5 kgs. When the price increases from 1 to 2, so supply is also increasing from 5 kgs to 10 kgs. When the price is further increasing from 2 to 3, then the supply is also further increasing from 10 kgs to 15 kgs. Then when the price is further increasing from 3 to 4, then the supply is also increasing from 15 kgs to 20 kgs. And when the price is increasing from 4 to 5, then the supply is increasing from 20 to 25 kgs. So here you can see that there is direct relationship between the price and quantity supplied. As price is increasing, so quantity supplied is also increasing. That is why at the lowest price, quantity supplied is also lowest, and at the highest price of ₹5, quantity supplied is also highest. So it's showing that there is direct relationship between the price and the supply. Okay. Now, when we are going to plot this schedule on this graph, so we are going to get the supply curve. Like see, here we have represented quantity supplied on x-axis, and we have represented price on y-axis. Now we are going to plot this figures in this graph, and we are going to get the supply curve. Let's see how. See, when the price is ₹1, so quantity supplied is 5. So we are going to have a point over here. See, this is going to be the point. When the price is increasing, so quantity supplied is also increasing. When price is becoming 2, so quantity supplied is 10. See, when the price is further increasing, so quantity supplied is also increasing. So at the price of ₹3, the quantity supplied is 15 units. Okay. At the price of ₹4, you can see that quantity supplied is 20 units. And at the price of ₹5, quantity supplied is 25 units. 25 kgs. Okay. So when we are going to join this point, so we are going to get a supply curve, which could be called as SS. Okay. So here you can see that this supply curve is going upward from left to right. And why the supply curve is going upward from left to right? So due to the direct relationship between these two variables, price and quantity supplied, this curve is having the upward slope from left to right. So this way we have got our supply curve, and due to the positive relationship or the direct relationship between these two variables, price and quantity supplied, the supply curve is having the upward slope from left to right. Okay. So this was the explanation of law of supply with the help of schedule and the diagram. Now we are now we will see certain exceptions to the law of supply. Exceptions are generally those cases or scenarios or those commodities. The cases of includes those commodities on which this law doesn't become applicable. So what are the exceptions to the law of supply? So first one over here is agricultural good. See, when we talk about any agricultural good, so one thing is there. When we talk about the gestation period in case of agricultural goods, so it's long. It takes long gestation period. It depends upon many factors which are external, like weather, rain, monsoon, etc. So even though the price of agricultural commodities are increasing in the market, so its supply cannot be increased at very fast rate, at very fast pace, or at very fast speed. Okay, because it depends on so many factors which are external to firm, which are external to industry, like weather conditions, monsoon, rain, etc. So the supply of such commodities cannot be increased with the increase in price. Okay, that is why it is an exception to the law of supply. The second one is rare goods. So when we talk about the rare goods, so it generally refers to the old coins or all those goods which belongs which is having the specific value. Okay, special paintings, etc. So on such goods the law of supply is not applied because the supply of such rare goods cannot be increased. Okay, so therefore the law of supply does not become applicable in case of the rare goods. Then future expectation about prices. See, if the supplier is expecting that in future, in coming 1 to 2 months, the prices of the product will increase in the market. So what he can do, he can start holding the product at the present. Okay, at the present price, when he'll start holding the product, so what will happen? even there is no change in the price, but still the supply of product has declined in the market, and law of supply has failed over here. Because what does law of supply says? When the price increases, supply increases. When the price declines, and so supply will also decline. But here at the constant prices, when supply is declining due to expectation about the future changes, so in such case the law of supply will not operate, the law of supply will fail. So therefore future expectation about prices is one of the exceptions to the law of supply. The second one is perishable goods. When we talk about the perishable goods, so it generally includes the goods like vegetable, okay, the commodities like vegetables. So when we talk about the vegetables, so it's not possible to store this perishable goods in the stock for long period of time. So supplier cannot store it for the long period of time and wait for the prices to increase. So in cases of the perishable goods as well, the law of supply doesn't operate. The law of supply will fail in case of perishable goods, because supplier cannot hold it for many days and wait for the price to increase in order to supply those commodities in the market. He has to supply it even though the prices are lower, because if he is not going to supply, so goods will damage, and because of which he is going to suffer huge loss. And therefore in case of perishable goods as well, the law of supply will not operate. So those are the exceptions to the law of supply. So here we are done with the law of supply. In next lecture we are going to deal with the two different concepts, that is expansion and the contraction of supply, and the increase and the decrease of supply, and then we would be done with this chapter. So I assume that you will watch the lectures. If in case you are going to have any doubts, so you will contact us. So keep watching the lectures. Thank you.